Chase Boyle. I work at Radar, parent company of Radar Relay. And today, I forget what the title of it is, but we're going to walk through how to get set up with some nodes that we're providing for this weekend. So recently, we launched what is called Radar Deploy. It is our take on an infrastructure play. And this is just the bare bones of what we're launching. We have so many other things that we're building in the pipeline to simplify your access to networks. So today and for this weekend, we're actually giving away free nodes, free access to our shared infrastructure. We have Geth, Parity, all the test nets and the main nets. So please feel free to jump on these nodes throughout the weekend or even through the month. We have 30 days free of all of our nodes to test it out. And you also get a discount afterwards. So if you guys want, you can go here now or we can do this later, but you can see me after for the URL as well. Deploy.radar.tech/ETHDenver2020. You just type in your email, password, and you'll get set up for free. We have fully synced nodes already ready to go, and you can just jump right in. So I'm not going to do it because I already have an instance kind of going, but as soon as you log in, you should see perfect timing. Can I get some video help up here? Plug it out, plug it in. See if that worked.
And there it goes.
There we go, sorry, thank you. All right, so as soon as you put in your email and password, you'll see that we have 8 versions of nodes already set up. They're fully synced. We have Parity with the mainnet and all the test nets, and then we also have Geth nodes with mainnet and all of those test nets as well. We also have documentation that you can jump into. So standard, documentation. We give you help with all the clients, all the methods. We also give you tutorials on linking up your Web3 libraries and countless other libraries that you might want to use with our nodes. Make it super simple. We have, when you go into a certain node, and I have one that's running right now. When you go into a node, this is what you'll see: the peer count, the block height, which we consider the node count. And then you'll also see the amount of API queries that you're currently running at. Also, we do something that we call middleware. So we allow you to install different kind of abstractions of open source software and apply it to these nodes. The first one that we launched with is GraphQL. We enabled it on Geth, so you can actually use GraphQL on our nodes right now. So if you're developing with GraphQL, please jump into this and check it out. What's really cool is the way that we set up kind of our API events page. We show you the amount of queries that you've done month to date because we bill on a monthly basis. But we also show you the errors that you have, which is super interesting because we also allow you to filter on your errors. So if you come down here to the status of these calls, you can jump in and figure out, when you hit a certain error and kind of drill down on what exactly happened within your app. Each of these actually shows kind of the distribution of your methods as well, so you can see if you've had a spike in a certain method call or just kind of an overarching view of how your application's doing. We allow you to filter on IP addresses as well. It's something that we found kind of interesting for us because, as you all know, with API keys and by broadcasting these requests, your URL and API key can basically get spoofed. So we wanted to make sure that you had the ability to make sure that your API key is only being used by you and your app alone. We also have, like I said, GraphQL, which we can go in. We also enabled GraphEQL. So if you want, you can go into the actual, UI of this. And it works just here in browser. Again, we also have documentation and the ability to hit all these nodes. We have a ton of tutorials and walkthroughs. We built Radar Relay 2 years ago, and the amount of questions that we got about how to build dApps and how to run dApps correctly was astounding. We realized that a lot of people had questions about infrastructure, which is what led us to build something like this. But also it was the walkthroughs and making sure that people understand how to connect to the nodes that we're providing and how to do it easily and quickly. So there's tons of stuff to help here. Again, these are free throughout the weekend. We have quick start guides, whatever you might need. Let's see, one other thing I wanted to touch on. Yeah, I think that's it, actually. Again, you can filter on pretty much anything. You can filter on methods, IP address. You can also filter down to the time that you requested a certain method if you want to dive back into it and figure out what went wrong, what went right, things like that. That is it. Hopefully you guys can use this over the weekend. And again, you have 30 days to use this for free. They're currently set at 100 requests per second. Oh, you know what? I should probably walk you through this part. We make it super easy to connect. We have your URL and API key right here, immediately able to copy. We also do JSON RPC examples. That one is get block number. We also enable WebSockets. We have no limitations on these WebSockets also, so you can just open up as many WebSockets as you want on any of these nodes. We also provide pretty good documentation on pub sub events. So yeah, that is it. Please feel free to use this throughout the weekend. See me if you need the URL. Again, it's deploy.radar.tech/ETHDenver2020. And yeah, that is it. Any questions or anything? Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering if you also support the debug APIs of GET and, for example, the GET modified contracts by block number of GET.
Do we support the backend APIs? Is that what you said? Sorry.
Debug. GET has debug APIs, which do wonderful things, and I was curious if your shared node expose also those APIs.
Great question. We do not support that on the shared infrastructure, but we also have another version of deploy, which we allow you to run your own instance. So if you want, you can come see me afterwards. We can set you up with an owned node is what we call it. We literally give you access to the instance. We give you SSH access, and you can run that configuration on Geth, restart the client, and you'll have it immediately. But on these nodes that you have for free that are immediately spun up, you do not. So we can set it up for you, but not on this specific instance for ETHDenver. Great question. Yeah. Yeah, we also do Bitcoin nodes. So question was, do you also do Bitcoin nodes? The answer is yes. We don't have anything immediate for this weekend because it's an Ethereum hackathon, but again, we support Bitcoin Core, BTCD, and it's basically the same exact kind of setup that you see here. We support the shared infrastructure, so you can just get an API key and hit those nodes, or you can get your own instance stood up as well. Add whatever you want. The other thing that we enabled is another middleware piece on the Bitcoin nodes, and that's the Explora Electors Blockstream engine. So you can actually run that indexing engine on, I believe it's Bitcoin Core. So basically run exactly how the indexing engine that powers Blockstream.info within, natively on those nodes. Cool. Anything else? Yeah.
Just follow up on the other question. Is there tracing for parity, and is this an archival node? Or?
These currently are not, but if you would like one, you can see me after. Again, it's like the kind of higher tier that we have. So great question. I know it's in high demand, so yeah. Cool. Anyone else? Alrighty. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. Have a great weekend.